Hey folks, hope you are doing good. Welcome to our first session on number systems. We have read number systems umpteen number of times, but I'm sure we haven't studied it from exam point of view. Number system is a huge topic which can be covered in 6 months or a year, or people do PhD on it. But we'll cover it from exam point of view. There would be around 3 or 4 sessions on number systems. So this is the first session on number system. In this session, we would talk about nomenclature of number systems, prime numbers and composite numbers, and even and odd numbers. We'll also see some of the properties and application of prime and composite and even and odd numbers. So let's get going and understand what is the nomenclature of numbers, right? So when we talk about numbers, we also try to introduce certain vocabulary so that it becomes easy for us to communicate, right? The first term which we encounter is natural numbers. So natural number is set of counting numbers. So natural number are also called counting numbers. So all the numbers which can be counted in general are natural numbers. So 1 apple, 2 oranges or 3 guavas, they can be counted, so they are called natural numbers. When we include a 0 in the set of natural numbers, what we get is whole number. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and all that are positive numbers. If we also introduce negative numbers, which are minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on, what we get is a set of integers, right? Next important number which we encounter are called rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? Let's define rational numbers here. Rational numbers are those numbers which can be introduced in the form p by q, where p and q are integers. So any number which can be represented in the form p by q, where p and q are integers, is a rational number. So here we see an example 1 by 2, where p is equal to 1, q is equal to 2, and p and q are integers. It's a rational number. 3 and 4 is a rational number. By this definition, if we take minus 3 can be written as minus 3 by 1, right? Again in p by q form, where p and q are integers. So every integer is a rational number itself, right? What are irrational numbers? Those numbers which cannot be represented in the form p by q are called irrational numbers. So root 3, root 2, pi and so on. Irrational numbers are not very important as far as our exam is concerned, so we would not cover about irrational numbers in detail. Real number, it's a set which constitutes both rational number and irrational number. So when we combine rational and irrational numbers, what we get are real numbers. There is another concept called a number line. Number line is seldom asked in a exam like CSAT or bank PO, so we would not waste our time on number line and representing numbers on a number line and so on and so forth. And then finally there are complex numbers. Again, a concept out of purview of our exam. Not going to devote any time on this. What we are going to devote time on is something which is very important, which is prime and composite numbers. The concept is very simple. Prime numbers are those which have only two factors, the number itself and 1. Let's see what are factors of a number. Let's say we have a number called 24. Any number which divides this 24 would be factor of this. So does 1 divide 24? Yes, it does, so it's a factor. Does 2 divide 24? Yes, it does, so 2 is also a factor. 3 also divides 24, is also a factor. 4 again divides 24, is again a factor. Does 5 divides it? No. Does 6 divides it? Yes. 7 does not. 8, yes. 9 does not. 10 does not. 11 doesn't. 12, yes. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, no. And finally 24 divides it. So these are the factors of 24. These are called factors, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on are factors of 24. Let's take a number. Let's take 5. So is it divisible by 1? Yes. Every number for that matter is divisible by 1. Is it divisible by 2? No. By 3? No. By 4? No. By 5? Yes. So factors of 5 are 1 and 5. So definition of prime number says that it should have only two factors. So 5 has only two factors, so 5 is prime. 1 is the number itself and 1, right? So 5 has two factors. One is the number itself, which is 5, and another factor is 1, right? So this is called a prime number. Then what is 24? 24 is a composite number, right? So those numbers which are not prime are composite. By definition, 1 is neither prime nor composite. So this you have to keep in mind, that 1 is neither prime and nor is it composite. The other important result is that 2 is the only even prime number. This is the property which we would be going to use very extensively in few questions which are asked in our exam. So this you have to always keep in mind, that 2 is the only even prime number. Now here we have introduced the term even. Let's understand what are even numbers and what are odd numbers. So what are even numbers? Those numbers which are divisible by 2. Simple, as simple as that. Any number which is divisible by 2 is an even number, right? So let's take few examples. So 2 is divisible by 2, 4 is divisible by 2, 6 is divisible by 2, 8 is divisible by 2, 90 is divisible by 2, and so on. So these are even numbers. Confusion arises when we take 0. Is 0 divisible by 2? Yes, it is. So 0 divided by 2 is equal to 0. So 0 is also a even number. Another confusion is, are negative numbers also even? So what we have done is we have defined even number in general form. So even numbers can be written as 2n, where n is any integer, right? So let's write it 2n, n can be any integer. So let's put n is equal to -1. So what we get is -2. It's a even number. -4, yes, it is even. -6, yes, it is even. So yes, even number are negative as well. So any number which is divisible by 2 is even, whether it is negative or positive, it doesn't matter. So that's the definition of even number, that it has to be divisible by 2. What are odd numbers? Those numbers which are not divisible by 2 are odd. So 1, 3, we'll write it 1, 3, 5, 7, 99, and so on. These are odd numbers. Even the negative numbers can be odd as well. They can be generally written as 2n plus 1 form, where n is an integer, right? So this is the basic definition of even and odd numbers. Till now we have done definitions. Let's now see some properties of even and odd numbers which would come handy in our exam. So if we have two even numbers, what would be their sum? So let's take two even numbers, 2, the other even number would be 8. Sum of these two even numbers would be 10. So sum of two even numbers is even. So when we say sum, we are also talking about subtraction. So even minus even is even. Even plus even is even. So we'll write plus or minus, right? Because plus or minus are same operations, they are not different. So these are plus or minus. Let's odd plus odd is what? Let's say 7 plus 3 is 10, right? So odd plus odd is again even, right? Odd minus odd would again be even. Odd plus even, let's see, 3 plus 3 plus even is 4 is 7. So odd plus even is odd. And finally odd plus odd is, so we have seen odd plus odd is even. So when two odd numbers are added, it gives us even. So when these two are added, we'll get an even number. And when in this even number we add an odd number, what do we get? We get odd, right? So this is equivalent to an odd number. So sum of 3 odd numbers would be odd. Sum of 4 odd numbers would be even. Sum of 5 odd numbers would be odd. So sum of odd number of odd numbers will always be odd, whereas sum of even number of odd numbers would always be even. Now let's see where these properties would be used. We'll combine the concept of prime number and even and odd number. Let's see, there is a statement in your question paper which says sum of two prime numbers is odd. Now what do we deduce from this statement? This statement means that we have two numbers, let's say a plus b, right? And the sum is odd, right? A can be either odd or even, B can be either odd or even, right? So out of these three cases of addition of two numbers, odd happens when we add an even number and odd number. So one of them has to be even and one of them has to be odd. And we know that only even prime number is 2. So B has to be 2 and A can be any other prime number. So by using the properties of even and odd number, as well as by learning the special rule that 2 is the only even prime number, we have already deduced one of the prime numbers, which is 2. In this way, if we keep track of small things in our concept building, we sort of simplify the question and we can arrive at right answer very easily and without wasting a lot of time. This is all about this session. We have covered what are prime numbers, what are composite numbers, what are even and odd numbers, and what are their properties. We have also seen the nomenclature of numbers in general. Nomenclature of numbers is required because in lots of questions you would encounter terms like integer, rational, whole, and all that stuff, though a direct question would not appear from these terms. So learning these terms become important. So you have to keep these terms at the back of your mind. In the next series, we would learn about divisibility rules and about factors and remainders in detail. Till then, happy learning, and I hope that you would gain a lot from this course. All the best for your preparation, and keep learning and keep enjoying your studies. Thank you.